discovered my wife's half-year-long affair, separated from her, and currently her application is covertly visiting our former residence and making an appearance at our children's birthday celebration. Greetings, I have been silently observing this community for some time, attempting to come to terms with the betrayal in my personal life. To summarize the lengthy narrative, my wife and I have been united in marriage for a duration of 8 years, and when considering our individual histories, our relationship spans a few more years. We are the proud parents of 2 young children. This year has been particularly challenging, and although we have experienced our share of disagreements, none seemed significant enough to compel my wife to engage in an affair. Nonetheless, I observed her becoming increasingly distant and less communicative, which prompted me to initiate a conversation one evening. During that exchange, she expressed her unhappiness in the absence of the initial spark in our relationship. Initially, I was overwhelmed with self-doubt, considering that I might have been an inattentive partner, which is indeed a valid concern. However, the following day, I stumbled upon a peculiar and overly affectionate message on her phone. Upon further investigation, I realized that my wife had been exchanging messages with another man for an extended period, filled with numerous declarations of love and discussions about a shared future. I was utterly devastated by this revelation. In any case, following the counsel provided in numerous discussions here, I chose not to confront her immediately. I actually read as much as I could, contacted a couple of lawyers for advice, one now on retainer, and got my head on straight and calm. I confronted my wife a couple of days ago calmly and asked if she was having an affair. After a couple of minutes, she admitted everything. Long story short, it's been going on for 6 months, and she claims it's the deepest emotional connection ever. Complete bullshit, but whatever. To end it all, I gave my list of boundaries, cut off contact, etc. The thing that I think is the final nail of an honest attempt to reconcile is she got extremely aggravated with cutting off contact, especially when I told her to do it in front of me, and even insisted to see him one last time for closure. If fucking held my ground and told her if he is so important, pack a bag and go live with him. To which she backed off, but not before she told me I was a controlling asshole. Anyways, she sent a text this morning and showed me, but my spidey senses seem to think she will try a different means of communication. I'm thinking there is no hope, and I honestly don't want it at this point, but I just wanted to be able to tell my kids in 20 years I at least tried. We have MC tomorrow, but I'm thinking it's time to file before wasting any time or grief. I'm cautious to move too fast because of my kids, but is this the right way to do it? Update 1. The past few weeks have simply put sucked, but it's given me time for a lot of soul-searching and thinking. As an update from the previous thread, the wife and I did attend some counseling after the initial confrontation, and I will say this particular counselor has been very good about listening to both of us and not assigning blame or anything like that, and helping to navigate our new reality. She has also helped to uncover some structural issues in our relationship, and while that doesn't at all excuse my wife's behavior, it's helpful at least knowing for a future relationship and not repeating the same mistakes. Also mentioned in the thread, my wife's initial reaction to my boundary to cut off contact with the AP appeared to go unheeded, and I did catch some small mess between them before she completely went dark with her chat log/phone. After seeing that, I decided to file, and she was served a few days ago. In parallel, I decided to have a heart-to-heart with my Phil, as we are super close, and I needed to prioritize this support for our kids versus our relationship, as I could see my wife wanted to sweep this under a rug. Needless to say, my wife was initially extremely upset. Her fantasy was blown up, but our therapist did talk it through with her from my point of view on why this needed to happen. I think she is starting to realize the consequence of her actions and start to see there are real things that are going to be lost from here on out. I'm just trying to process the new life ahead and the huge change in my identity from a husband/father to something else. Same with her. I will say since I filed, my wife was immediately shocked when I dropped that on her, and she has been very emotional these past few days. I honestly think she thought I would never be able to walk away. I have kept her at arm's length, but I have seen a distinct change in her, and on a positive note, we have talked more, kept our conversation civil, and focused on our shared priorities, children mostly. I've made it very clear to her that she left a huge wound on me and that she has to do the heavy lift to help repair and give me space and time if I can ever begin to forgive. I'll say it again and again, her actions are the most selfish, self-centered, horrible thing you could do to a person, but I have not lost sight that we still need to raise our children, and that is my focus point as I navigate how I will move to the next phase of my personal happiness. I wanted to thank everyone for the previous comments and insight. I am honestly proud that I found the strength to not wallow in self-pity, anger, or sadness and was able to make the right moves to retain my dignity and look forward to a bright future. I honestly don't know all the next moves, and my feelings are constantly in flux, but I am starting to feel some inner peace. Thank you all again. Small update. I am in the post-serving part and working closely with my counselor. What I'm looking for is if any BS here took advantage of the affair fog to get better divorce terms and how you pulled it off. My SDBXW is clearly deep in the fog, still seeing SL, contacting AP, which at the moment I haven't bothered her since it's a good distraction. What did people get agreements on that were unexpected? Any advice is greatly appreciated on how to move through this phase, and also to keep her off balance is also helpful. Besides Grey Rock and 108, I've been going out much more unexpectedly and not divulging details of my activity. Update. Advice on Grey Rocking during divorce proceedings. Hi everyone. I posted a few threads about my ongoing saga, but the abridged version is, wife cheated, I caught her. She gave me the, I love you but not in love, and AP is the greatest emotional connection ever. BS and has trickle truthed, gaslit everything to the script. I then proceeded to drop papers on her, and well, here we are a few weeks later. Long story short, now in the post-serving phase and having to cohabitate for now since I want to spend as much time with my children as possible. I am now in a separate room too, so this has helped me begin to get that distance. I've implemented the Grey Rock with my SDBXW. Generally try not to be interested in any discussion, but have to fake it a little, especially with kids around. They are still small, but try to be upbeat as they can sense a lot. I'm also not making myself available in the evening, going out with friends, working out, whatever. Any other advice on how to best handle this situation? It's a delicate balance. I want as much bonding time with my kids and have sucked it up for family dinners and whatnot. Update. To those who don't know the story, it's simply, wife cheated, greatest emotional attachment ever, love you but not in love, etc. I threw down papers and well, I'm just over 1.5 months after D-Day and working like hell to move on. The purpose of this post is not for any update. All I can say is the process is ongoing, and I will give the appropriate update at the right time, likely a while. My only request is for anyone that has gone through the process, please share any good advice, lessons learned, things you would have done differently, or good things to know. The advice in the previous posts has been super helpful, and those that have reached out in other ways have been incredible, just reaching out. Update. She cheated, but I'm made to feel like the a-hole. Hey everyone, my story can be found in my post history, but long story short, as always, wife cheated, found her greatest emotional turd ever. I threw down papers, and the train is riding to downtown. Just wanted to get some stories on how folks dealt with in-laws, friends, etc., making you out to be a bad guy. I did get the jump after filing and told some of the in-laws, my family, and some friends, but I didn't broadcast why. I want to keep some things quiet. That being said, I know my SDBX likely threw down her side, and while I'm getting some cold vibes from a lot of her family and some other folks, blood is thicker than water, but it sucks when your close family turns their back, despite being a good dad and husband, and the wife being an immoral turd. Did people start to see stuff later on and change their opinion? Did you just stop caring and move on? Update 3. Hi everyone. As of today, there is some closure coming my way in my saga that started over the summer, and I have been posting, getting advice from everyone here. I just want to start off and thank this community for the incredible support and advice, especially to those folks who privately messaged and offered words of wisdom along the way. This is a crappy process to go through, especially when close family is far away. It sucks to be alone with your thoughts, but there is some wisdom and introspection to gain during this. For those that need a recap, one of the many threads is below, but the TLDR is, my wife cheated and tried to hide it. I found out, realized there was no hope as she was deep in the fog with AP, and immediately filed on her. Anyways, the past few months have been frosty but relatively drama-free, as the SDBX and I separated our lives in the house but still did things for our children. The discovery and mediation process proceeded pretty quickly. We agreed on 50/50ths for our kids, along with schedules and holidays, and since it's a no-fault state, asset division was by the book, with some give and take. I won't go into details too much at this time, maybe another post in the future, but I will be finding a place soon for a fresh start. The final conclusion is on the horizon, but for the most part, the D is complete. As for my advice from this whole fiasco, I learned a bunch of things. 1. Don't bother with a pick-me dance. I tried for a week before wising up to where the cheating was coming from. 2. My SDBX is still in the fog, but it's her decision, she needs to live with it. 3. Do lawyer up with an experienced family law attorney who is reasonable. I can't say enough about the person who took care of me. Understanding that this is what I want versus reality was important in converging to the end. I don't have any crazy, ridiculous fees, as I did a lot of the prep and avoided hours and hours of back and forth, and this was able to be settled rather quickly. 4. Do lean on friends and family for support as much as possible. 5. Working out/exercise is key to keeping your mental health. I hit the weights a month after D-Day and am starting to reap the benefits, and that confidence has been helpful to get across the finish line. 6. Get into individual counseling, and talk with someone. This has helped me tremendously. 7. I realize this from all the posts I read, but the cheaters' decisions are all on them. I heard it all from my SDBX. I was a roommate. I love you/not in love. Our marriage went so wrong. I worked too much, blah blah. Truth be told, now that I know the timeline, our marriage went wrong after she invited someone in her life that was feeding her lines to stroke her ego and give her extra attention, and she had to put up walls and make me the bad guy to justify this in her mind. Sure, she may have been stressed from kids, day-to-day life, and a long-term marriage, but not communicating to her husband and confiding in a two-time divorcee/cheater with no moral compass is all on her and a recipe for disaster. The exciting final chapter of Cap and Sackett-Freeman A/5-year plan said AP is yet to be written, but poor choices carry consequences. That is all I will say on the matter. Again, thank you to everyone. I still have a lot of work ahead, but also many adventures in this new chapter of my life. I hope I can return the favor to anyone who needs it. Please reach out if anyone needs a helping hand. I am here. Update. Has your ex pushed to still be in your life after divorce? I got a question for the group. My post history details the greatest emotional connection, love story ever. I'm not so far away from moving into my own place, as I have a couple of kids with my SDBX, and also for legal reasons, have remained in our marital house as this process has taken place. I have posted a couple of other threads on the ongoing saga. Thankfully, the light is at the end of the tunnel for me soon. Obviously, I have to co-parent with my cheating ex and will be friendly for that. But I've been firm in saying she killed our marriage and by default any sort of friendship. I have no room in my life for a lying cheater. She has, however, been insistent about wanting to be there for me, promising to help decorate my new house and keeping holiday traditions for the kids. Again, I have remained firm in saying she torpedoed our relationship and wanted to replace me, so I'm simply giving her that wish and even gone as far as to say she won't be a welcome guest in my house. Has anyone had this happen with the ex wanting to hang around? I have to guess it's some sort of optics. If we are friends, the split can't be so bad. So far, AP has not shown his face, and she tries to hide it. But I know it's a matter of time before their greatest emotional connection gets to go live. I have no desire to ever be in the same room as them two anyways, but will remain outside the blast radius with popcorn when that whole thing goes up in flames. Thanks as always to this awesome group. Update 4. As of today, the official decree went out, and I am no longer married. I also picked up the keys to my new house, and we start the process to move ASAP. I did choose to take a buyout as I felt it was best to start fresh and have a place of my own to make new memories, and I really got lucky. I found a nicely kept-up house barely a minute away from my current home, huge fenced-in backyard, wood fire pit, big garage, and primo location. I also back up to a nature preserve, and as I'm an avid outdoorsman, it's like I have a gateway to my own little paradise. Some will ask why so close. Well, I want to be close to my kids because they need to know their dad is close by for when they need me. Thanks to the advice of this community, I kept my mind focused on what was important, started a workout program, and also dove head first into a new career opportunity that recently paid itself huge dividends. I have not bothered with old or seeking out a new partner and will likely enjoy the single life for a while. I have my 2 little kids to focus on and fully plan on focusing on them and my personal growth for a while. As for my ex and AP, I honestly have started to let go of that disaster. Whatever happens will happen, and it's no longer my concern. Someone eloquently said before, when someone gets with somebody who cheated on their wife, they are getting someone who cheated on their wife. I did my best as a husband and father, and it's time for someone else to appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you all for the messages, advice, well wishes, and so on. My life has depended on this so much these past months when I didn't have very many close by to turn to. For those that are at the very beginning of this crap deal, please keep putting one foot in front of the other and surviving every day. I'm not an expert in life, but I'm also willing to lend an ear to those who need it. Good luck, y'all. Update. I'll have a life update coming soon as I've had some pretty major things, mostly good, happening after my official divorce. That being said, in my new free time, I unfortunately have looked back and saw the life I had planned of app and wonder how could this happen in such a short time. I'm sure everyone has had much time to ponder the who/what, where, why, but I look back in my WS and I had a great life ahead of us. Careers that are doing great after some initial major efforts to establish ourselves paid off. Home, 2 beautiful children who are now out of diapers, kids' college funds being funded, amongst the multitude of other things going for us. Thinking about this is my last hurdle to get over, but I really can't understand the mindset of someone who had so much going for her but decided to nuke it all and is going all in on an unreliable, serial cheating turd. Need I mention one more time to this group? I know I'm going to struggle for a while to heal from all this, but I just look at our history and lives together and just think, how can a person be so selfish and stupid? I get that desire can't be negotiated and all that jazz, but damn, the whole point of being married is to work together through things as a team and to continuously fall back in love with one another. Thanks again to this great group for all the insights. I know I likely sound like a broken record, but these forums have been great to vent this stuff. Update 5. Hello all. Wanted to give a quick update especially to those folks who just went through their D-Day and are worried about what life may be like. I'm 6 weeks post-decree and have moved into my new place a month ago, working like a madman to get it set up into my sanctuary. I finally have it well furnished, and it feels like home. My kids have now been over many times, and the rotation is working well. I've read many times here that kids are resilient, but until you see it firsthand, it is worrisome. I'm happy to report they are handling things pretty well, and we have our own fun at Dad's house, and they have told me many times they love being over. As for me, it's initially been weird having some newfound freedom, but I found making to-do lists and daily, weekly, long-term goals is helping a lot. I was initially sad, but keeping busy keeps that away. I'm focused only on self-improvement at the moment. I have thought about putting myself back on the scene, but truthfully have no interest, so I'm keeping focused on home improvement, fitness, and my kids. Someone commented on one of my posts that getting out of the house was like being underwater and coming up for air, and they were right. As for the cheating ex, I keep it cordial, but that's it. No sign of the greatest emotional connection, AP, yet. WTF, but who cares? 3. Just say tonight I sat outside, had a few beers and a cigar, and enjoyed the peace and tranquility of my property and thought, getting the heck away from the situation my ex put me in was the right thing. Those at the beginning and doubting leaving, I get it. It's the toughest thing, heartbreaking, and a kick in the junk. But making the decision to eject a cheater out was the only right decision, and I only feel with time it will get better. Cheers, everyone. Update. Hi all. Another update from AC496. Once again, thank you all to you wonderful people for the comments and support. It's now month 2 of being on my own. My house is coming together quite nicely. My kids have been doing very well and making memories, and I have some fun trips planned in the near future. As per the usual advice, I have kicked my weight training and dieting into the next gear, furnished my home gym with some better equipment, and also been hitting the heavy bag very regularly. It must be working, as in my monthly therapy session, my counselor noticed I was putting on weight in the right places, and she said it's great. The progress she is seeing mentally and physically, so a little affirmation that things are going in the right direction. I have not bothered to date or look at this point. It's early on, and I'm just enjoying the free time, new projects, and time with friends. So, to the point of the post, and I'm sure everyone keeps wondering, has crappy luck hit crappy people? Well, I don't have a wonderful Poe to detail the destruction of OM or the EXU just yet. However, it's odd as the greatest romance ever hasn't been revealed at all, and OM is still a secret. I wanted to ask why this could be. Is my ex-wife just playing image management and waiting to reveal all at a time that looks better? Isn't the thrill of the affair dead now that they can't sneak around? I'm no longer around, so I just find it odd. I have a feeling they are still communicating, as she makes it obvious she is by hiding her phone still if I'm around during kids' activities. But why? It's like, you wanted this, you snuck around, and claimed this was the most amazing thing ever. Why not blast it out now that the horrible ex-husband is gone? Has this happened to anyone else with their ex and AP? Update 5. Hi all. I'm almost to the 6-month mark past divorce and nearly to the year past D-Day. It's been cathartic to post, but I know a lot of folks have followed my journey, commented, messaged, given hope, etc., and like many others posted along the journey to give the unfortunate new folks here some ray of light that despite the darkness you have stepped in, there is another side. I hope I can continue to help in whatever small way I can to anyone in need. I greatly appreciated the support I got, and in kind, would always love to return the favor. On that note, 6 months past D-Day, and there is a lot of positive news. My house is furnished and a home. My kids are comfortable in the routine and love coming over and have made some neighborhood friends. I am beyond thankful that the little ones manage this process so well, and they just understand there is dad time and mom time. No complaints or tears outside of them being here. I have immersed myself into a crap ton of home improvements. The house I moved into was occupied by an older divorced gentleman, and some stuff got left to the wayside, but I look at it as an opportunity to make it my own. Along with that, I furnished a home gym in my house with everything I need and can say I'm getting my workouts and boxing in 4x/week and getting my body back to where it needed to be through this whole ordeal. I also went through a major career change internally to where I work and somehow managed to not mess anything up, but instead have gotten kudos. I've kept my situation private, a raise, and plenty of exposure to get my career trajectory moving up. Yes, I still struggle daily with mental health and focus, but I manage it with therapy and workouts, and things are getting better. I think less and less of my EXU each day, and each small step is a relief. As for her, well, she is still in La La Land. But I can only say we co-parent decently well. I gray rock the heck out of her. Let it be friends, but keep it strictly to kids, and it's been cordial. I'm sure anyone who has followed my story has wondered about the saga of OM. All I can say is the world's greatest love story hasn't gone live, but my kids made me aware recently he has been around in a small capacity. I have to laugh a little as it's now 6 months past D-Day, and they are still sneaking around. All great hallmarks of a long-lasting, trusting relationship guaranteed to stand the test of time. I've come to terms that whatever is going to happen will happen, and at this point, I am lucky to be away from a person that is willing to lie to their most trusted partner's face and not feel an ounce of remorse. I have a solid chance at building an even better life than before. Good riddance and good luck. Anyways, that is all. And yet another big thanks to all those that follow and comment, slage, send a ray of hope. I will keep updating and supporting as always. Update. Hey y'all, thought I'd pass on the thoughts of a good conversation I had with a buddy last night over many beers. It's amazing sometimes how the world's problems can be solved on Friday night. For context, my buddy also got divorced 7 years ago, and his circumstances are eerily similar to mine. Even our exes have the same birthday. I have mentioned in previous posts recently, but the grand reveal of OM and my ex is slowly taking form. I am a low contact with my ex, but my kids make comments, and it's hard not to get irked. Whatever anyways, my buddy noticed I was a bit frustrated and said this, and it helped me a lot. Dude, think about their lives. 2 cheaters getting together. Think about how crappy, low-value turd he is for manipulating a married woman with kids. Now look at it this way. They have to make it work, no matter how bad it becomes. You or I can meet women, and if it's not good, we move on. No problem, no worry. They're stuck. He has to be in your old house, knowing you built that, has to deal with your kids, and inherits your selfish ex and in-laws. But they are stuck, or else they look stupid. Can you imagine that kind of hell? But you are free. I stewed on that, and this morning, it really helped to realize what a horrid future to have to look forward to. Anyways, wanted to pass this thought and also ask if others came to this conclusion or saw it in action. Thank you to you awesome people as always. Update. AP is invited to my kid's birthday. Hi all, AC496 here. Smile, a big thanks to this lovely group as always. I have something to get off my chest. For those that remember my saga, I've been progressing well, and I have some big updates coming soon. As I like to post up positive things in my journey to help those in their journey, but for now, I'm in need of advice. Background. My daughter's birthday is coming up this weekend. I already celebrated last weekend with my family and had a small thing, nothing crazy, and my daughter loved her presents and cake. Well, the EXU is having her usual "look at how awesome I am" party this weekend. I did get an invite, but I just found out the other day that good old other man is confirmed going to be there. I called out my EXU, saying this was a pretty crappy thing to do, but she didn't reply. Better yet, the EXU's coworkers and family/friends knew about the affair and will be there, and the party is at my old house, enemy territory. This is just horrid overall, as it's my daughter's party after us divorcing, and I can't help but feel it's a setup. This is L/L, lawyer's letter, and after talking with some other supportive members here, this feels like entering a pit of vipers. The only thing I can think of is going and dressed well, fresh haircut, and showing off my new physique. Hey, I've been doing the work and staying a little while, but either way, I just don't like this. I feel this is super manipulative of the EXU. She knows exactly how she is playing this and wants me to do something petty. Any advice is appreciated. D-edit. Wow, the responses have been awesome. You guys are all awesome. I will try and respond to each and everyone when my day calms down. Update 8. Hey everyone. I wanted to thank the massive amount of support I got on my post from earlier this week. Since the beginning of this saga, this community has been my lifeboat and saver with advice to get me through all this. Thank you all. It truly means the world to me. As for the juicy update, well, this is a good one. Smile. So I initially told the EXU that I'd be joining. What I didn't do was tell her I changed my mind. I waited until Saturday morning to pop by the house and drop off my daughter's card and present. Well, unbeknownst to me, the kids were dropped off at Grandma and Grandpa's house for the morning, and as I drove up into the driveway in my sports car, I may add, none other than OM's turd wagon was on the side of the road. I strolled into the backyard quietly and with a smile and surprised both the EXU and OM as they were putting up decorations. The look of utter terror was on both their faces, and I'll bet you not, OM didn't look me in the eyes once, but was like, "Oh hey man, ha ha ha." Honestly, when I looked at both of them, I didn't feel anger but just a sense of how sad you both are. Good luck together. Is that growth? I kept my composure and just said, I'm here to give my daughter her present, but I won't be joining. The EXU was shocked, and I swear, in the nicest voice I ever heard in my life, she darn near pleaded for me to join. I said, thanks but no thanks. I will go to your parents' place to give my daughter her gift, and we parted ways. I did give a, hey, see you later, bro, to OM before strolling out, head held high. Not more than 3 minutes later, I got a phone call from the EXU, again pleading for me to come to the party, but I held my ground and politely refused. A few minutes later, I dropped off the gift, went into the ex-in-laws for a few minutes, and played with my kids and said my goodbyes, all very kindly and not mentioning the situation. As for me, I kept myself busy tending to my house, got a good workout in, much needed after a break, and I went out on a date. Ultimately, it was kind of a bust, but she was nice, and at least it was a distraction. My daughter called me today and thanked me for my gift, but she didn't ask why I wasn't there. So like everyone said, she was so busy she didn't pay attention. So there it is. I know if I would have won, I would have set myself back a ton and for nothing. Instead, she told everyone I'd be there, and with me a no-show and OM there, I'm absolutely certain people put 2 and 2 together on why. Now I can go about my weekend not feeling like I'm mentally exhausted and do some fun things. Update. Hey everyone. This is going to be a short but rather humorous update to my previous posts. The outreach was incredible. Thank you all for your advice. and I'm still smiling from the rope of dope I pulled last week. I've had a really good week since then. Anyways, here is your Friday humor. Some background. Since after D-Day, if those that have followed my saga may remember, my in-laws dropped me like a hot potato. I get it. Blood is thicker than water. However, I have had one member of the extended family reach out, and we regularly hang out. He is truly a man of character. Well, I got a text on Saturday during the party. Hey man, let's grab some beers this week. Your presence is missed here. Fast forward to the other day, we meet, start consuming beers, and get down to business. He first starts off talking about the awkward circus show the party was, with people clearly looking at their feet at the situation. Apparently, was not introduced to anyone. The EXU was deliberately apart from him during the party and was mostly directing him on things to do. The in-laws didn't bother to talk to him and sat with themselves, looking pretty annoyed. He clearly was a fish out of water and actually went inside most of the time and avoided most everyone. It was also a quiet comment among some of the in-laws' uncle side of things that this is pretty classless. I swear, I'm heading toward indifference, but I just laughed my butt off. My absence was well understood, and my earlier gift giving to my daughter was also known. So it seems like the family had a full understanding of my absence. Mission accomplished. Anyways, that is my Friday humor for those new to your own bad situation. I cannot stress enough the importance of taking the high road, acting with dignity and class, and just moving toward living the best life. It's not always the most satisfactory course of action, but like weight training, the results take time but are worth it. Happy Friday, y'all.